Fallen on the Discord though.
Yeah, I got it. No, Karen's didn't even leave. All right.
All right, let's go ahead and hop to the back of the queue and keep this show going. All right, we've got Karen's anime hair versus a Karen. Karen, one of the players that actually falls pretty low on Karen anime hair's hate tier list. So let's see how this goes.
Let's do this.
I don't think I've had very much experience with Fallen's particular Karen, so let's see how strong Fallen is with this very, very execution-heavy character.
Yep, he's first time on our stream.
Actually, I remember typing those L's in. Fallen was at the last tournament. He just didn't make it on stream.
That's right. Good luck, guys. This is top 8.
Fight.
Right off the bat, Karen's anime hair with a sweep. Looks like he still hasn't broken that curse of sweeping too many times from that previous match. Still on the high of taking this previous win. Oh, that's punishable. That light kick Mujin Kyaku is not something you should be able to get away with. That's day 1 tech. We've got confirms, however, into the light kick Mujin Kyaku. Oh, going for the optimal corner carry combo, the one that I go for, that it's very, very easy to drop. Interesting crouching medium kick into Orochi. For those who don't know, you can actually interrupt that with any kind of 3-frame normal. Fallen opting to use the V-trigger.
Dash up throw.
Karen's anime here just taking it with 2 dash up throws.
My beauty is Round 2. Fight.
Blocking the sweep, no punish. You block that sweep, you just have to mash crouching medium punch and get that punish. Getting a crouching jab, not following up with anything in particular. And again, crouching medium kick into Tenko, that is -4, you can in fact punish that. Crush counter sweep from Karen's anime here, getting a meaty. And taking it with a meaty slide, alright.
Fallen sitting on all those resources.
Vega wins.
Hate to see it that way.
Yeah, Karen's a very difficult character to use, especially when you're just starting out.
Yes.
Like I said, she's a very execution heavy character, and it's very hard to confirm into her damage without just sort of going a little bit ham and doing those raw, unconfirmed Tenkos. It can be very tempting to just throw out Tenkos and not hit confirm, but they are -4, and against a decent player, you will get punished. Double jabs, possibly going for a double jab and a Tenko confirm. It's very hard to get. Dropping the confirm into Tenko there, that's why you saw that dash. That light kick dash. The Justin Wong special, confirm into light kick dash.
It's really good pressure there by Fallen.
Absolutely. I like the command dashes after the Tenko, or after the full combo. It puts you in a perfect position for a meaty. However, Fallen not really on point with those meaties. Another random wall die. That was actually the correct answer to that jumping medium punch from from Fallen. However, it just didn't connect.
Round 2. Fight.
Random EX Tenko at the start of the round works way out more often than it should, but it's insanely punishable, more so even than the normal Tenko. And then a crouching medium kick unconfirmed into fierce kick Mujin Kyaku. Fallen going a little bit ham and realizing that it's working. going for the random Mujin Kyakus and the random Rasenhas is sort of the equivalent of Vega going for random slides. They are unsafe, but they work most of the time, so why not use them? Karen's Anime here sitting on full V-Trigger and not full super anymore.
Don't think he's gonna need it.
He's most assuredly not. This is going to be a lot of damage. He just needs one more throw. Oh, he went for it. Fallen opts to jump out. Probably a smart idea.
Into
Going
super.
for the shimmy
There it
forward
is.
into V-skill into super.
That should be
Is
enough.
this going to kill? Is this going to kill?
Oh yes.
Oh, it kills. Vega has 950 health, and so that combo actually just barely killed. But Fallen takes that match.
Round 1. Fight.
Alright, Fallen just sort of whipping some buttons from full screen. That's Vega's
Good
job.
end here.
Connecting with the sweep, dashing up. Karen's Anime here with a perfectly placed sweep, but then just sort of blocking, afraid of getting whiff punished.
Yeah, didn't follow up on it.
Again, Karen's Anime here has this unbreakable habit of pressing buttons after that EX roll, even though that's -2. And Fallen
was-
not challenging.
Just gonna ask that. I thought he was minus on that.
He is in fact minus. Ooh,
Oh.
completely baiting that EX%, huh? It's the first time he did it and the first time it got baited.
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, Fallen jumping in. Not sure that was the right button to jump in with that range, but
I like that we're seeing anti-airs now from Karen though.
absolutely, yeah. Karen's Anime here, sort of feeling himself. Oh, yep,
There's
you can
the
tell that he's
stun.
feeling himself when he gets the EX command grabs. Almost a good combo. That was almost awesome out of Karen's Anime here. But you know what? He's learning. Not blocking that overhead and getting the reset. That super gimmicky V-trigger reset is -4 on block, so...
This one's not gonna kill.
Nope, absolutely not. It's not even going to take him down to a quarter health.
I don't know if that was worth it because there's still another round.
Yep, absolutely. Karen's super is a kill-only super. Not only does it deprive you of all your resources, which is super important for a Karen player, but it puts you at full screen, and even if you had your opponent cornered, it will get them clean out of the corner.
Yeah, he was fighting for his life though.
Vega wins.
Sealing the deal with a dash-up throw. Karen's Anime here, breaking the curse twice in a row.
Okay, Justin is back.
Justin Akatsuki's back right in time for his match.
So it's gonna be Justin and Humpty. I don't know Humpty's. Is he in the Discord?
Yeah, I just invited him.
Okay. I can't find him on the @. Oh, it's CF. Yeah, okay, I see it.
All right, let's go ahead and invite these two players, Justin Akatsuki and Humpty OP.
Justin, you should have an invite.
Let's go ahead and spam some more.
Yeah, he's asked me if it's on stream. Mount Lover should be inviting you. Okay. Did you get Humpty?
Invite sent. He says he's on his way. Humpty OP.
Okay, there's Humpty. Just waiting on Justin.
There we go. All right, let's hop to the back of the queue and get the show on the road.
Karen's getting some in Discord training.
Humpty with the non-pressing start tech. Let's go ahead and hop back. All right, you guys are free to start. All right, looks like
what
Humpty's
happened?
dead. Let's
Yep.
all mourn our loss of Humpty OP.
Alright.
Oh, it crashed. Okay, so let's give him a little bit of time to restart his game. Caspicho Gold is in fact not considered intermediate. Gold is just gold. It's that awkward space for people to sit while they grind out the points they need for platinum.
I find it's in the middle because if you join like the r/Street Fighter, the Street Fighter Discords, you're gonna get wrecked by diamonds, but you can't compete in the beginners. So you're right in the middle.
Alright, let's hop back. There's a lot of variance in Gold League. Like, I'm in Gold League, but I find myself taking games off of Platinums, like, all the time. And then there are some people in Gold League that lose to Silvers, and so there's a lot of variance there.
Do you play ranked?
Because of the giant points gap. I very rarely play ranked.
I was gonna say because I play you and you're gold and I'm gold and you just wreck me. So I'm like, I don't think he plays gold or ranked that often.
Yeah, last time I played ranked was like a week ago, and I just like got 1,000 points, called it quits.
Alright, finally underway. Justin versus Humpty.
All right, another Ryu versus Vega matchup. So let's see, if Justin Akatsuki is on point with his anti-airs and patient,
Round one.
and let's see if Humpty
Fight.
can start being a little bit less antsy with the crouching sweeps. Pretty much all Justin Akatsuki has to do in order to win this matchup is block, anti-air, and punish sweeps.
Anti-air a lot.
You don't have to worry about doing anything fancy. Here's the dashed up throw by Humpty OP. I say block. I'm assuming that teching is also part of that. Oh, good cross under, and then goes for a throw instead of actually applying the cross under as any sort of mix-up.
So many throws.
So whenever you're facing off against a new opponent for the first time, you want to try all of your mix-ups. It's very tempting to go for the cross under into throw, but you have to understand that that option only exists once for once your opponent, you've established that your opponent can block your mix-ups and your cross unders. All right, the autocorrect DP coming out to just annihilate that wall dive. The jumping light kick with its hitbox that covers the entire screen, apparently. The counter throw to Humpty OP that jumping medium kick into standing heavy punch should in fact be a type block strain. Humpty just pressed it very late there and got thrown. Both these players sitting on absolutely full resources, so we're probably going to see a Rose at some point. Oh, there's the sweep. Oh, still, not getting an optimal punish. I'm not sure. There's like some sort of stigma against optimally punishing that that sweep. Even that crouching medium kick in a Hadouken, yeah, he could have done that in the super. There's nothing.
That probably would have given him the match.
Absolutely. Desperation super out of Humpty. Didn't proceed it with a taunt this time. Still lost.
Ryu wins.
It's a tough one to call.
All right, Justin, not doing much of anything and just letting Humpty blow himself up there. I can understand not wanting to close the round with full meter. However, spending it all on a Desperation Super is not really the way to go. If anything, you should spend it on Desperation EX rolls.
Especially with another round after that one. If you win.
Akuno Neko saying missed taunt was the missed taunt was an input error. He intended to taunt. It just it was a slight calculation there. The empty jump into throw. No tech for Justin Akatsuki. I don't blame him. Trying to anti-air that wall dive with the crouching fierce punch. Reuse the crouching fierce punch. Not as good as it looks. Interestingly enough, a jab would have beaten that wall dive. Ooh, the random fierce Tatsu into the full punish. Into super? No, he does not have super yet. Now he does. And he uses it. Why not? Not enough to chip, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and do some damage anyways and get the round.
Round 2.
Justin Akatsuki not really punishing anything, and that's really literally all he needs to do to win this match. Like right now. Not an optimal punish.
No, no.
The dash up throw out of Humpty OP. There we go. There's the tech coming out of Justin Akatsuki. You're not going to let that happen twice. He is going to let it happen the third time, though.
I can see that being frustrating. Because he's jumping in, he's sliding, and he's dashing up throwing. It's working.
It's especially frustrating when they start doing the command grab instead of the normal throw, because then you try to tech and you just get blown up.
Yeah.
Oh, no punish on that sweep. No optimal punish on that sweep again. Not even Hadouken into super. It's almost like he's expecting it to be safe every time. He's getting the punish, and it's not registering. Humpty OP showing us exactly how OP Vega would be if his slide was safe on block.
Round 1.
Wonder if Karen's taking notes.
Fight.
Interesting. So, if slide doesn't get punished, I can just win. Karen's actually probably being really salty that Humpty can get this far with those random slides. Ooh, excellent buffer job on that that crouching medium punch into that fierce Tatsu. Very smart stuff. So what he's doing there is he's inputting the fierce Tatsu very quickly behind that crouching medium punch, so that and he's doing it out of range, so that Humpty can only ever walk into it, and that Tatsu will only ever come out on hit. Random EX DP coming out of Justin Akatsuki that could have very easily been a medium DP. Let's suspend the meter anyways. It takes the first round.
I'm liking the anti-airs now.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a little bit of rollback for these two. Doesn't matter. Doesn't stop Justin. Gets that sweep. Trip guards that that wall dive. Justin going for that walk-up throw. Vega with the super, super good walk speed. Just saying, you know what? I'm going to walk away from this throw. You can just do it by yourself. Humpty OP with the taunt again. Doesn't have the meter to follow it up with super.
Justin's sitting on full stick of butter. Humpty's sitting on
here's the
full
super.
everything.
We're gonna see another taunt into Rose, maybe into super. That actually was a perfect opportunity, and there it is. There's the super. Not gonna be enough to get the kill or even get the health advantage, but it is going to be enough to put Justin Akatsuki on tilt. However, Justin also has full resources. I don't think we've seen a single V trigger out of him yet.
I wish you would take the time right here. Yeah. Activate your V trigger.
Absolutely. Even if you don't
Zone a
know
little
exactly
bit.
how to use it to extend combos or anything, just do a sweep into V trigger. It's all you need. Just make your sweep safe, and then all of a sudden you've got better fireballs and you've got the potential setup for an armor break.
Yep. Or a fireball DP.
Justin Akatsuki really needs to put that meter to use, even if it's something as simple as a fireball into Hadouken. I mean, fireball into super, rather. Ooh, getting a crush counter on that throw. I'm not actually sure that he punished the throw.
There
I think
it
he has
is.
something else. Here's the Hadouken to super. That's the damage he needed on the board. Should have been doing that way earlier. Maybe a little bit too late. A little too late at this point.
Ooh.
Still sitting on that full V trigger, not using it on anything. Whiffing a crouching fierce. Not really a great button for Ryu. Ryu has a lot of great buttons. That's not the best. Humpty
Humpty looking for
again
that rose.
somehow managing to work his way back up to full super and full V trigger. There's the rose. Doesn't connect.
Ugh.
Does the super anyways and manages to get a YOLO victory.
No.
No!
The smidge
with
again.
the pixel of health. Every time you think it's the win. Oh no, but then there's the slide.
Vega wins.
Justin probably kicking himself for that one.
Yeah, I don't think
He
he's
had
happy.
a lot of opportunities to take that. And it was not punishing that slide that really, not punishing anything really that that got it for him.
So it's going to be Yoshi versus Old Dirty Birdie.
Yep, Yoshi versus Old Dirty Birdie is are up. Sending invites now. Old Dirty Birdie, interestingly enough, playing with Balrog and not Birdie.
Street Fighter 4 maybe? Kept the name?
Let's do
Old Dirty Birdie?
Yeah.
Everybody in the Discord chat talking about how savage Humpty OP's play was. And how he was hyped for all the wrong reasons. Alright, Old Dirty Birdie, first time on the stream. I don't know what he plays like. However, he is sporting that bare knuckle costume for Birdie. Yoshi for the win. We've seen his very solid Ken play. Old Dirty Birdie just sort of spamming dash punches. Very tough to deal with until you realize that you can literally just neutral jump. Landing that meaty crush counter. Yoshi already sitting on full V-trigger, almost dead. There's the confirm, back medium into full target combo. There's the punch. The crouching medium
super,
punch
yeah.
into V-trigger confirm into back medium target combo into super confirm. That's a lot of damage on the board. Not enough to kill. Ooh, again, good confirm. Crouching medium kick to clip his way to that, inching out that round.
round two.
Thanks for the follow.
Fight.
Finn McCoolio.
Very good block on that dash lower. Very tricky to block. Gotta be ready for it. There's that dash punch. Very smartly reacting right away with a back medium punch. Knowing that even if it doesn't get the punish, he's free to press buttons.
I feel if Yoshi just plays a little patient here, Old Dirty Birdie's just gonna kill himself. I just find he's hitting a lot of buttons.
He's hitting a lot of buttons and hitting a lot of dash punches. However,
Yeah.
as Balrog, you're sort of free to do that. A lot of those dash punches are safe, especially the EX dash lower that he seems to be using a lot.
Thanks for the follow, D-Nice.
I feel like Yoshi's doing a pretty good job of opening up Old Dirty Birdie. He just needs to keep an eye out for that dash lower.
Neil Hawkins.
Block a little bit better.
Thanks for the follow, Neil Hawkins.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a bad jump on Yoshi's part. Desperation jump to get out of the corner almost never works against somebody who knows how to anti-air. Mistiming the meaty for Old Dirty Birdie and getting thrown out of it. Yoshi almost setting on full resources. Here's one thing I'd like to see a little more of. We haven't seen a single V-trigger activation for Yoshi. Very easy for Ken. There it is. Oh, we have seen him. He uses it to confirm those combos.
Thanks for the follow. Too many mistakes.
EX dash punch to clinch the round for Old Dirty Birdie.
Balrog wins.
So the Balrog matchup is a very tough one to deal with. Even if you feel like you're winning or you're doing a good job of opening up the opponent, Balrog can just pull so much damage from out of nowhere with those EX dash punches. What you have to do is you have to keep an eye out for those lows and those overheads. Generally block low and then block high when you see that overhead coming, because it's got enough startup to react to, just barely. However, even that's not enough. In addition to blocking, you have to be ready to open up Balrog, because a lot of his options are in fact safe. So you have to mix up your offensive pressure when it is your turn with throws.
Thanks for the follow, King Humpty.
There it is. There's the throw I'm talking about. Yoshi sort of pushing his luck and going for the some sort of meaty setup there when he did not have enough advantage to do so. Again, there's that crouching medium punch directly V-trigger into large damage. Ooh,
Very
goes
nice.
to the clip to get the stun and the win.
Good pressure.
Very good pressure out of Yoshi.
Round 2. Fight.
Very solid defense out of both players right now. Excellent confirm directly into huge damage. There's the crush counter into, again, optimal damage into the stun. There's the Shoryuken to build a tiny bit of meter into...
Oh, dropped.
Oh, just a narrow drop on that combo. So here's one thing about Ken that you want to keep in mind. And this, again, follows into why it's so easy to drop those stun combos. And it's because of the fact that if you do a neutral jump Fierce Punch, you're going to be a little bit further back for your combo than if you were to jump forward Fierce Punch. And that's exactly what happened to Yoshi just then. He was a little bit too far back to connect with the full combo.
Nice confirm.
There we go. Yoshi confirms and takes that victory.
Ken wins.
Getting a little worried there. Started out strong, and then once Balrog gets on a roll,
Yeah, absolutely.
That
You need
damage
you
output.
need impeccable offense and impeccable defense in order to deal with any Balrog player. Just because Balrog is so good at taking advantages of holes of openings in your playstyle. If you don't block low enough, you are gonna get clipped by the dash lower and the stomp, which we haven't actually been seeing Old Dirty Birdie take a lot of advantage of. Another excellent confirm into a good setup for Yoshi. Jumping jab anti-air coming out of Yoshi. Like, not too confident in his crouching punch or his DP.
might have been an input error.
I've seen him do that a lot.
Oh, really?
A lot of, yeah. I don't know, so he just feels more comfortable with the air-to-airs than the proper anti-airs. Interesting option on Old Dirty Birdie to just back up out of the corner and try to come back in with that that dash lower.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times.
And it looks like Yoshi's starting to get the read on it. He might have the download complete here.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Old Dirty Birdie needs to stop depending too much on the virtue of Balrog as a character and start. There we go. There's the anti-airs that he needs to start doing. Could have actually anti-aired that as well. instead opted to block and just take the plus situation that you end up with after you block that EX dash Tatsu. Or jump Tatsu, rather. There's the anti-air.
That was nice.
That might be the only adaptation that Old Dirty Birdie needs to make. Oh, I don't like that. I'm sure that was an input error.
Nice cross under.
Oh, no, a little bit too early on that meaty. That's why you need to practice your meaties, kids. Gets that V-trigger activation. However, a very smart V-reversal by Yoshi FTW. When Balrog cancels that stomp, that V-trigger cancels that stomp, he is plus. And so what you want to do is V-reversal, no matter what character you're with, to immediately put an end to that situation. Very good stuff out of Yoshi FTW. Very good reactions and instincts.
So up next is Icy Knee and Young Twitch God.
Young Twitch God. Oh, this is going to be a hype match.
Yeah, both very heavy favorites to win this. Very heavy favorites to get banned from the next tournament as well.
They're both actually very much crowd pleasers as well.
Yeah.
These are both very exciting players to watch.
I don't know how Icy hasn't won yet.
Honestly, yeah.
Maybe it's tournament jitters.
Well, he had no problem working his way up to this part of the winner's bracket, so let's see this hype match unfold. I don't even have any predictions for how this is going to go. I know that Icy Knee is a very, very solid player. He's only been getting better. It's an invite. Young Twitch God. All right, we've got our players in here. Let's go ahead and hop to the bottom of the queue and let these two duke it out.
Let's do this.
Humpty in the Twitch chat, just feeling himself out, being his own hype man. All right, here we go. Alex versus Guile. Icy Knee versus Young Twitch God. So Alex is one of the characters that doesn't have a particularly tough time getting in on a strictly zoning, type of Guile, just because he has so many options for getting through those fireballs. He has so many options for getting past those sonic booms. Once he builds a little bit of meter, he immediately has access to that armored EX elbow, as we saw just there. As long as you don't time it well enough so that you don't eat an EX fireball or a sonic break, or a sonic cross rather, you can get it in an instant and even finish the sonic booms if you're on point with your reactions. Very smart EX flash kick to get out of the corner and beat the power bomb option from Icy Knee there. Icy Knee jumping a little bit out of desperation when he doesn't need to, and then wasting that EX elbow that he should have been using beforehand. Oh my goodness, the dive kick into full damage. That's a very huge gamble. Young Twitch God would have just pulled back. That'd be a massive punish. Icy Knee sitting on his V-trigger. Opts to go for the OP crouching medium punch, one of the best buttons in the game.
Round two.
Just knock young Twitch God out of that round. Stun gun right at the beginning of the match. Oh, another dive kick. All right. If it works once, why not do it again? Young Twitch God using those EX fireballs to zone. Icy Knee going for that that Alex dive kick yet again, despite the fact that it is a very, very unsafe move. There's almost nothing you can't punish that move with. Young Twitch God with a stomp. Very smart option when your opponent is down back. Going for the stun gun there.
Good reaction. This might be it.
Oh, yep, there's the power bomb. Overkill on young Twitch God.
Alex wins.
So an interesting fact about Alex's stun gun and his stomp. So while the stomp is a very powerful option when your opponent is down backing, both the stomp and the stun gun can both be answered in the same way with a neutral jump. And it looks like young Twitch God just isn't looking for it.
Round one. Fight.
You see him jumping back a little bit there, and just then he blocked the stomp. And so if you're looking for the stomp, if you're conditioned to try and block high when you see Alex take to the sky, that's how you eat the stun gun. The correct answer should be neutral jump. Or flash kick, that also works. Yep. That is punishable, that EX elbow. Young Twitch God needs to learn to start punishing that a little bit more optimally, but Guile can never get too much damage off of anything that he does. Unless your name is Chris G. Going for the third throw in a row. It doesn't quite work. EX flash kick, not entirely necessary in that situation, but if it works, it works.
Good job by
There's the throw to
YTG.
take out that, close out that round.
Round two.
Yeah, YTG a little bit more aware now, looking for those stun guns and stomps and answering, and the dive kicks and answering with that flash kick. Again, I don't necessarily agree with using the EX version of that flash kick as an anti-air. All versions of the flash kick work pretty well as an anti-air. I'm going to save that meter for super and for reversals.
Very nice.
Oh.
Icy's gonna catch on to that though. He is throwing out
Yeah,
the
there was
flash kicks.
a reversal non-EX flash kick that time, and it still worked. Yeah, Icy needs to start
Yeah.
baiting those.
Icy's jumping a lot.
Not jumping in at all. It was working out for him a little bit in the first match, and so he got a little bit cocky. He's feeling himself out a little bit too much.
Yeah.
It's okay to jump in on Guile, but only if you can read a Sonic Boom. If you're just jumping in to try and get in, that's the wrong call. There's the power bomb for huge damage. He's gonna do it again. No, he goes for the lariat. Oh, into some damage, into the crush counter. That's gonna be a convincing round for Icy Knee.
Final round. Fight.
Young Twitch God just needs to stand his ground. Keep an eye out. That was the right call to answer that elbow with the EX Sonic Boom. However, it was a straight instead of just a win. Oh my goodness, that's going to be huge damage.
Yeah, Icy's caught on. YTG needs to stop doing that.
Yep. Oh, I love it. The V skill for the jump bait and then the flash kick to call him out. Again, smart to use that jumping light kick at that distance to get out of the corner, but he doesn't confirm off of the connection with anything in particular. Ooh, eats that lariat to the face. I'm not sure why he unblocked there. It wasn't entirely... He could have just blocked that. It wasn't fully charged, but...
Alex wins.
Icy Knee moves on.
So it's going to be YTG versus Humpty. YTG,
All right,
you can stay in the
go
room.
ahead and do YTG versus Humpty OP. All right, Humpty OP managing to make it this far in the losers bracket, playing very randomly. So let's see if young Twitch God can just learn how to A, block and tech throws, and B, punish unsafe slides. It's literally all that YTG needs to do in order to get this win. However, as we saw earlier, YTG was not really optimal with the punishes against the dive kicks from Icy Knee. And even when you punish optimally with Guile, you still don't get a lot of damage. So let's see what young Twitch God can do to handle those slides.
I didn't even realize Lobo Loco was out.
Really? Oh yeah, I guess so.
Justin took him out. Like in round 3. I wonder if that was my fault. Sorry, Lobo. If I got you salty before the tournament.
Don't worry about it. Can't win them all. All right, we've got young Twitch God versus Humpty OP.
Fight.
Humpty busting out the taunt right at the start of the match. Humpty notorious for his taunt while losing. Here's the dash up throw from Humpty. Young Twitch God trying to answer with neutral jumps when all he needs to do is tech.
What's that
Humpty has
punish?
demonstrated that he does not have the awareness to actually use those command grabs that Vega has, and so he's just been jumping up with a normal throw, and dashing up with a normal throw. Good flash kick out of young Twitch God. You can tell how much Twitch God is feeling himself at any given moment as to by how many flash kicks he manages to connect with as an anti-air. There's another one. Again, opting for that EX flash kick, and I don't agree with that kind of usage as meter of
That
meter
one-
as for anti-airs.
That one though took out the round. It confirmed the round for him. So.
It did, but the normal flash kick would have done the same thing.
Oh really? Does it do the same damage?
It does comparable damage. I'm not sure. I feel like the EX does do a little bit more. Wow, both
The
of these players
taunts.
opting for the synchronized taunts, almost like they coordinated this, almost like this tournament is rigged. I'm gonna have to call Spooky for the collusion here if this comes to a draw or something. I don't agree with that flash kick there. It wasn't even an EX flash kick. I'm not sure what he's trying to reversal when all he needs to do is try to tech that throw that's going to come. Humpty hasn't demonstrated any kind of ability to shimmy or anything like that. He's just been dashing up throwing every single time. So as long as young Twitch God can just down back and tech throws, he can take this with no problem. Young Twitch God getting a little bit too antsy there. Throwing the fireball instead of trying to predict what's going to come out for... Oh!
That wasn't even
Not
chip.
blocking that random super. It wasn't chip, so we didn't even get to see if that was enough to get the chip kill. I actually don't think that it was. I think that young Twitch God panicked a little bit when he had a little bit,
Yep.
when he had enough health to survive that chip. Again, young Twitch God not really reacting to Humpty's play and instead just committing to those sonic booms when he should be flash kicking. A very difficult trap to come out of with Guile. Ooh, good back fist from young Twitch God. Don't agree with that random flash kick again. When I use them as a reactionary tool, not as an anticipatory tool. Young Twitch God going a little bit heavy on the sonic booms. Yeah, jump was inevitable there. When a Guile player throws sonic booms out that regularly and that predictably, it becomes very easy to jump over them. However, doesn't matter, young Twitch God still takes that first match. That's another trap that you can easily fall into as a Guile player. It's very easy to just start throwing sonic booms left and right. However, you cannot throw them in any kind of rhythm, otherwise they're going to be very easy to predict and very easy to jump, just like that. There's the taunt coming out of Humpty OP into the jump back directly into a Sonic Boom.
Getting punished for
There's
every
the
taunt.
taunt into Edith Sonic Boom to the face. There's the Azuna drop. I believe it's the first Azuna drop we've seen thus far.
Very convincing. Nothing went right for YTG there.
Round 2. Fight.
Humpty playing the mind games, those taunts. Young Twitch God getting a little bit too close for comfort when he should be zoning and anti-airing. No flash. Oh, there's the flash kick. A little bit late, but it still autocorrects. A lot of very
Nice.
strong pressure out of Young Twitch God. Huge damage. Almost gets the stun.
There's the stun.
There's the throw into the corner for the stun. There's
With
the
the
taunt.
taunt.
There's the kill. Anyways, is he going to get it? No, he does not get the kill right away. Doesn't matter. There's the flash kick to take that round.
With an exclamation mark on that one.
Old Man Gruff, you do not get meter for taunting. All you get is you build the tilt meter for your opponent. No flash kick out of Young Twitch
Yeah.
God, even though it was a very telegraphed jump. There's the flash kick. Again, a little bit late, but still gets the autocorrect. The EX flash kick. And then a regular flash kick. Again, I'm not sure that I agree with these regular flash kicks on the ground and then the EX flash kicks as an anti-air. Got a missed input on a Sonic Boom back there. Doesn't matter. There's the flash kick for the anti-air.
Chipping away.
Yep, chipping away at Humpty. He doesn't really know what to do or how to get in. We're not seeing any taunts now that he's down to the wire, although I would love to see that. Young Twitch God pulls it out.
2-0.
Guile wins.
Up next, Old Dirty Birdie, Karen's anime hair.
It's go time.
Stun is the ultimate taunt. That's how you tilt your opponent, when you stun them. Alright, Young Twitch God took that. I believe it was 2-1. Old Dirty Birdie versus the anime hair of Karen.
Just waiting on Karen's.
Mm-hmm. Rombustable saying freedom prevails. The Guile mains having each other's backs with a moral support. Karen's anime hair setting is getting some weird lag. Hold on a second while I fix it. No problem, Karen's anime hair. I'm just gonna sit here and spam you with invites in the meantime. Here we go. All right, we've got our players in here. Let's go ahead and hop back to the back of the queue and let them duke it out. Old Dirty Birdie looks like he has a little bit of a shady connection. However, hopefully it'll be better between these two.
Let's do this.
Lobo Loco saying, sorry, Karen's anime hair, but I got a root for Dirty Birdie. Balrog main having each other's backs. Balrog quickly rising on the Karen's anime hair hate tier list. However, let's see if Karen's anime hair can deal with Old Dirty Birdie's Balrog.
Round 1.
If there's one thing that I've noticed about Old Dirty Birdie's style of play as opposed to Lobo Loco, it's that his defense is not as on point as Mr. Lobo Loco. He will succumb to those dash up grabs. And he will continue to press buttons when he is in fact minus and eat those counter hits. The question is, can Karen's anime hair take advantage of that and confirm properly from neutral? Right off the bat, we see Karen's anime hair sort of hesitant to press buttons. It's very easy to feel that way against Balrog, but you have to understand, most of the things that Balrog does are in fact minus. They are safe, but they are minus. So you're free to press buttons or go for throws. Interesting V reversal coming out of Old Dirty Birdie. Hitting Karen's anime hair out of the neutral jump.
Smothered.
Old Dirty Birdie putting on the pressure, not letting go.
Round 2. Fight.
Badly placed sweep, no punish. Here's the throw. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of those if Karen's anime hair is going to take this. Good block on that EX dash lower. Holy crap, that was a good bait. Here's the dash up throw yet again. Are we going to see another one? There it is. Is he going to go for a fourth? He's going to go for the sweep. And there's the throw, but he does it too early. And the Azuna drop, and that's going to be the kill.
Final round. Fight.
Karen's anime hair realizing he doesn't need to play a game. He just needs to just mix up those throws and sweeps, I guess. Sitting on full meter. I'd like to see him use it on some EX Azuna drops. But it's Old Dirty Birdie has shown that throws are perfectly effective. You don't need to go for the command grab nonsense. Pull out the great when you can settle for the good. Again, the EX wall dive, but it works. Old Dirty Birdie needs to work on his defense a little bit. Either block or anti-air that wall dive. Very easy stun for Karen's anime here. This is going to be huge damage right here. This is actually going to be the kill.
Yep. Job, Karen's. Takes the first one. I didn't watch any of it.
Claw pulling it out against Boxer. It's okay if you were distracted. You just have to pretend like you were totally paying attention.
Round 1. Fight.
It's up for Craig.
Players anticipating the immediate low out of the bat. Old Dirty Birdie trying to block the slide, and Karen's anime here trying to block the dash sweep. Here's the safe roll, and then Karen's anime here with a tendency to press buttons immediately afterwards. Old Dirty Birdie, not knowing his frame data and not pressing buttons, taunting and dropping the stun combo.
You deserve to drop
that. True Sonic. We're gonna call that the Humpty OP from now on. When somebody taunts into bad stuff.
Round 2. Fight.
Again, Karen's anime here walking forward to check if Old Dirty Birdie was blocking low. He was in fact blocking low and then sweeping anyways. Confirmed, some good damage by Karen's anime here. Actually, that's the beauty of that EX roll. You don't even have to confirm into it. You just have to do it. That was a confirm and a half, though. Normal wall dive into whiffing by pressing the button too early. Now, wall dive is a lot harder to use when Vega no longer has his claw. However, he gains the advantage of being able to combo out of it. Here's the random rose from full screen. Almost punishable, but not quite.
Vega wins.
Karen's anime hair taking that really convincingly. You wouldn't know that he was just getting thrashed by Lobo Loco earlier before the tournament started. Is that all of
Yeah.
the top 8 before the
This is, we're going to go YTG versus Karen's anime hair.
Okay, this is losers semifinals. Okay,
That's right.
so we do in fact keep it 2 out of 3. Was that a 2-0 for Karen's anime
Yeah,
here?
2-0.
It's go time.
All right, let's go ahead and invite these 2 players into this lobby. Oh man, young Twitch God versus Karen's anime hair. I am very, very torn about this one because these are basically 2 players that deserve to take this entire tournament. Young Twitch God has been in the limelight once, but before the season started, and Karen's anime hair has just been getting better and better with every tournament. Starting out, not even knowing how to play the game, not even knowing which character to pick, and settling on Vega, and then learning little by little all the tools that he needs in order to get to improve as a player. Been putting in work, been watching his replays, and been consulting others for advice. I'm very interested to see where this goes.
Let's do this.
In terms of character matchups, I actually do like. I don't know. In terms of character matchups, I feel like this must be even because like Vega has a very strong advantage in the ground game in being able to. He has the fastest walk speed in the game, so he's got no trouble just approaching Guile on the ground and just weaving his way through those sonic booms. But Guile has the air dominance. Guile's got better jump-ins. He's got a cross-up that's just as good, and he's got dominating anti-airs, which can absolutely knock Vega out of the sky if he ever tries to go for any wall dive shenanigans.
Fight.
So what I want to say is this is all going to depend on how smartly Karen's anime hair can place his jumps. If he doesn't jump too recklessly like that, yeah, and if he only jumps when he knows for a fact that there's going to be a sonic boom coming, then he can take this with very little problems.
We'll see if young Twitch God will be able to handle the dash up grabs with the flash kick or the teching of the throw there.
Yeah, we've seen earlier that young Twitch God is not too confident when it comes to teching those throws 100% of the time. And here's the thing, even if he does get to the point where he can start teching those throws consistently, I know that Karen's anime hair can pull out the command grabs. Ooh, that was an interesting option. The neutral jump rose there to get in, and however, he does corner himself, but young Twitch God too defensive of a Guile a little bit here, and it might come to bite him in the ass because of the fact that he just backs off when he has Karen's anime hair in the corner. And when you have a high mobility character like that trapped in the corner, you want to hold on to that advantage and squeeze it. Karen's anime hair taking that with a grab.
Round 2. Fight.
I like that he didn't start that round with a sweep. We've been seeing that a little bit too often. However, young Twitch God showing that he doesn't really have much of an answer to that sweep at all. Confirm. Some respectable damage coming out of Karen's anime here.
Nice neutral jump.
Neither of these characters have super duper high damage. There goes the claw for Karen's anime here. There's a sweep. That's a respectable punish. I'll take it. Guile can't get that much more damage than that. He can get more damage, but not that much.
Final round. Fight.
Just that forward roundhouse, or that forward fierce rather, right out the gate from Karen's anime here. Guile doesn't have really much of an option in terms of punishing that. Might be able to get something with a fierce sonic boom. I like mixing in the highs and the lows there. Punish on the sweep. Young Twitch God is ready for it. He's seen too many of those from Humpty P. Oh, that was supposed to be a flash kick and it would have worked. However, he just didn't quite have the charge for it. I like the cautious approach from Karen's anime here. That was the first well-placed sweep we've seen in a while. Ooh, baiting out the flash kick, going for big damage. Oh, not really following up after that rose with anything.
It's really unfortunate in that combo. Vega corners himself. It's like almost awful not to do it.
He could have worked his way back out with an EX wall dive and into a Grand Azuna drop. I think he just dropped the input and got a claw switch instead.
Okay,
somehow.
okay.
All right, Young Twitch God taking the first match.
Round 1.
I still feel like this could go either way though.
Fight.
Ooh, Karen's anime here pressing the right button at the wrong time. You saw that crouching fierce punch start to come out, and then it was a little bit too late. The neutral jump's coming out of Young Twitch God. He's ready for the dash up throw mix-ups. Oh, the throw tech's coming out of Karen's anime here. Very beautiful stuff. I didn't know he could tech throws like that. Good button presses coming out of Karen's anime here. Getting those pokes. All right, confirms and then just dashes up and throws instead of going for damage. With most characters, I would disapprove of that, but Vega's damage output is low enough that he actually got more damage for his trouble from the dash up throw than he would have from the full combo. Again, another dash up throw. Very smart stuff. Ooh, this is going to be a lot of damage here. Not enough to kill. Karen's anime here sitting on a rose and full super. Can instantly pull this back. Oh, instead just eats the double crouching light kick.
Round 2. Fight.
Dashes up, hesitates a little bit by Karen's anime here. Here's the dash up throw. I don't know that I like whatever that button was. Jumping medium punch? I definitely should have been a kick. Karen's anime here not really doing much in response to these sonic booms. As a Vega player, you should be pushing your advantage with that walk speed and just crawling your way up in between those sonic booms until they start to get a little predictable. Young Twitch God sitting on very little health. Karen's anime here with health advantage, however, eating a big combo.
That's
Going for the anti-air rose yet again, but doing it too late. Doesn't matter, gets the sweep.
Final round. Fight.
Karen's anime here has been consistently missing that anti-air rose. Very solid option for far jump-ins, but when your opponent's in your face, it's just not going to work if you do it too late.
He's trying to bait out a flash kick.
Yeah, I like the light wall dive there, just staying on the same side to try and bait something out. It's very smart. Again, Karen's anime here sitting on full super and that rose. Oh my goodness, the most punishable sweep you could possibly do. I think that was a first frame sweep. That's impressive stuff. Is he gonna press a button? He does not press a button, and Young Twitch God just jumps away. Both these players just sort of letting the advantage just sit there. Young Twitch God takes it over Karen's anime here.
Good Vega showing this week.
Absolutely, Karen's anime here just solidly improving and improving. I hope that he comes back and watches these matches and analyzing where he went wrong.
So we're gonna have Yoshi versus Iceni.
All right, young Twitch God taking that 2-0.